Visitors can explore Virginia's rich history and heritage, having been the first state to be settled in 1607. Its territory is home to numerous Civil War and Revolutionary War sites, but it also boasts some amazing natural areas, like Shenandoah National Park, that are worth exploring. The Old Dominion, which is a part of the Mid-Atlantic region and has a very diverse landscape, is bounded to the west by the Blue Ridge Mountains and to the east by the Chesapeake Bay and the ocean. As a result, the greatest activities in Virginia range from leisurely strolling along gorgeous beaches and gardens to exploring fascinating caves and waterfalls. 15. Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Family favorites for a long time, Busch Gardens is one of the most well-known and picturesque amusement parks in the United States. With entertaining rides and attractions dotted throughout, you might feel as though you're in France or Germany one moment and Italy or Ireland the next, all thanks to the European theme. Situated on the outskirts of Williamsburg to the southeast, its expansive grounds provide 9 distinct locations to discover. The Germany half appears to be a picturesque ski resort in the Alps, while the England section has vintage phone booths, a double-decker bus, and a massive reproduction of the Globe Theatre. 14. Luray Caverns. The cathedral-sized Luray Caverns are undoubtedly one of the most breathtaking caves in the United States because of its amazing stalactites and stalagmites. The northern region of the Commonwealth is home to this natural wonder, which is full of unusual rock formations, glistening crystals, and underground pools. Generations have flocked to the cave, which spans a massive region beneath the Shenandoah Valley, since it was discovered back in 1878. With amazing formations like Titania's Veil and the Double Column, it was created over many millennia by underground rivers. Some ceilings even reach 10 floors, which is not realistic. 13. Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center. An additional highly regarded attraction and institution in the state is the Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center. In addition to seeing the enormous aquariums containing fish and other aquatic life, there are interesting interactive displays, boat tours, and an IMAX cinema to enjoy. Among the most popular aquariums in the country, it debuted in 1986 with exhibits that highlighted the Atlantic Ocean as well as the rivers and Chesapeake Bay in Virginia. You can observe different kinds of sharks, stroke starfish, and horseshoe crabs in its touch tank as you explore its underwater habitats. 12. Mill Mountain Star and Park. From the top of the impressive mount of the same name, the Mill Mountain Star is unquestionably the most iconic image of the city and a site that overlooks Roanoke. The famous landmark, known as the Hollywood sign of the East Coast, is brilliantly illuminated every night and can be seen for miles around. The largest freestanding artificial star in the world was built in 1949 and is located 1,000 feet above the Roanoke Valley below. The 88-foot-tall neon sculpture, with its 3 stars nested one inside the other and often lit in brilliant red, white, and blue, stands out majestically against the night sky. 11. Battleship Wisconsin at Nauticus. The World War II-era USS Wisconsin, one of the biggest and final battleships ever constructed by the U.S. Navy, is currently permanently berthed along the Elizabeth River. Discover more about her intriguing past and take tours both above and below deck at the majestic Nauticus Maritime Facility in Norfolk. The state-of-the-art facility, which is situated near the waterfront, is filled with various relics and displays that illustrate the history of the region's maritime environment, industry, and military. The historic schooner Virginia stands outside, and there are 3 floors filled with model ships and hurricane simulations, along with a small aquarium. The massive huge gray battleship, which received 5 battle stars for her World War II service against Japanese forces, is the centerpiece, though. Visitors can go below deck to hear about the fighting she witnessed in the Gulf and Korea, in addition to seeing her enormous weapons and combat center. 10. Lewis Ginter Botanical Garden. The Lewis Ginter Botanical Garden is a vast, serene location situated to the north of Richmond, the capital of the Commonwealth. There are numerous eye-catching artworks and a stunning glass conservatory scattered throughout its amazing themed gardens and flower beds. It started in 1984 and currently has over a dozen distinct sections arranged across the property. It is frequently listed among the top botanical gardens in the country. Some gardens, like Asian Valley and the old-fashioned Victorian-style garden, include traditional design elements unique to their theme, while others are filled with roses and perennials. 9. Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge. Another fantastic location to visit if you're looking for breathtaking beauty and environment is the Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge, which is located just off Virginia's eastern shore. The southern side of Assateague Island is home to immaculate beaches, woodlands, marshes, and dunes. It is most famous for its wild ponies. Since the park was first created in 1943 to safeguard migrating birds, hundreds of birdwatchers visit it year, making it a haven for birdwatchers. Its pristine forests, marshes, and Atlantic Ocean coastline are home to an astounding 320 species of shorebirds and ducks. 8. Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. The amazing Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in Richmond is just another one of the state's most important cultural institutions. Situated at the museum district of the city, its astounding collection encompasses over 5,000 years of art history, with exquisite artworks and Fabergé eggs alongside African and Asian antiques. Since its founding in 1936, the museum has undergone significant growth, and its over 22,000 paintings, photographs, and sculptures are currently housed in a spectacular new structure. Recent additions include galleries featuring American landscape paintings and relics from ancient Egypt, as well as areas devoted to decorative arts and Art Nouveau and Art Deco design. 7. Maymont. Take a short stroll south of the museum district to find Maymont, a remarkable Victorian house that is unlike any other. There's a sizable old house museum, a lovely arboretum, and lovely gardens with lovely paths for guests to stroll through. James and Sally Dooley purchased the idyllic location with a James River view in 1886 from what was once a dairy farm. An exquisite Gilded Age palace with well-kept gardens featuring a koi pond, fountains, and a massive waterfall surrounding it was constructed by the affluent couple. 6. Historic Jamestown. Historic Jamestown, which maintains the location of the first permanent English settlement in the Americas, is a must-see for anybody interested in American history. Its restored Powhatan town and early colonial houses come to life before your eyes, despite the fact that only the foundations of a few old buildings exist. This is made possible by historical reenactors. James Fort was founded on the northeast bank of the James River by the Virginia Company of London on May 4, 1607, approximately 2.5 miles southwest of present-day Williamsburg. Before venturing out to explore the current digs, you may learn about the early settlers' battles for survival at its superb archaeological museum and view ancient objects uncovered at the site. 5. Arlington National Cemetery. Located directly over the Potomac River from Washington, D.C., Arlington National Cemetery is arguably the most significant national cemetery in the United States. Many of the most well-known people in the nation are buried here among its lovely green landscapes, and there are also numerous striking monuments and memorials scattered about. Almost 400,000 veterans and their dependents are buried in this expansive cemetery, which was established during the American Civil War. Apart from the tomb of the unknown soldier and the Iwo Jima Memorial, the tomb of President John F. Kennedy is one of the most visited. 4. George Washington's Mount Vernon. The former plantation house of the first President of the United States is located a little further down the meandering Potomac River from Arlington. George Washington himself actually designed and decorated Mount Vernon, which makes for a delightful visit with its exquisite furnishings and period objects on display. The vast estate, which is now a major tourist destination, served as Washington's home from 1754 until his death in 1799. The stately mansion overlooks the river from its prominent slope and has some exquisite Palladian-style architecture. The chambers, crammed with personal items and family photos, provide a fascinating window into the life and times of the powerful individual. 3. Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, the state's largest city, draws a ton of vacationers each summer with its beautiful beaches. In addition to its wide beach and colorful boardwalk, there are tons of entertaining family-friendly water activities and attractions to enjoy. VB is located beside the Atlantic near the mouth of Chesapeake Bay and has 30 miles of smooth, sandy beaches. The lively boardwalk, which is surrounded by mini golf courses, live music venues, and thrilling arcades and amusement rides, is the focal point of town life. 2. Colonial Williamsburg. Colonial Williamsburg is undoubtedly the destination for you if you want to travel back in time and discover what life was truly like in 18th century America. It's the world's largest living history museum, with innumerable quaint old streets teeming with historically accurate dressed reenactors. Few locations were as significant to the early history of the United States as the city, which served as the colony's capital throughout the American Revolution. After all, this is where the plans for American independence were made by George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and James Monroe. 1. Shenandoah National Park and Skyline Drive. Shenandoah National Park, which spans much of the state's north, is sure to please outdoor enthusiasts and wildlife lovers both. Drive along Skyline Drive through the park's forested highlands to enjoy the breathtaking landscape and perspectives. The meandering route, which is 105 miles long, largely traces the summit of the untamed Blue Ridge Mountains, which have been preserved as a park since 1935. You can stop at its stunning overlooks to take in expansive views over the Piedmont Plateau and Shenandoah Valley in addition to taking in the lovely scenery.